avoid fainting. Keep repeating.
It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie.
Take as much as you can.
Only a movie.
Hey up, Rock God 2004 back with another video for you, and this is my collection of Video Nasties Section 1. This is Part 2. I've done them in alphabetical order, which is like the way they go on the list. It's not necessarily the order that they got banned in, but there is a couple of early ones in this section, so let's get started with Part 2. So we start with number 11 on the Section 1 banned Video Nasties list. This is one of the difficult to watch ones, and this is Umberto Lenzi's real nasty Cannibal Ferox, also known in the United States as Make Them Die Slowly. I think there was a bit of an argument between Umberto Lenzi and Ruggero Deodato. They were arguing who started the cannibal film first. Does it matter? They're equally as sick. This one, although it's very hard to watch because of the animal cruelty scenes in it, with the exception of one scene, this is probably one of the easiest to watch. This one, it does feel like, kind of like the cannibal films do, but this one, in the same vein as Deep River Savages, I suppose, it's kind of like an adventure film as well. And there's actually some funny bits in this one from what I remember as well. Similar thing, people going out to the jungle. It's very similar to the next one in the series, but it's not as brutal. It's a bit more like a tongue-in-cheek. The gore effects, the human gore effects are excellent, and they make you cringe. The most offensive scene in this is the killing of a pig. It's awful. Now, this one, it gives you the opportunity to watch the film with or without that one scene. The pig death. The rest of it, you've got to watch it with it. And it is quite nasty. However, it's still not quite as bad as the next film on the list. If you want to see the Video Nasties totally uncut in their entirety, you do have to at least watch this once. And the death of the pig it's brutal because it doesn't get shot. It gets stabbed to death, yeah. And you hear the squeal and everything. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but I'm just kind of trying to sort of mentally prepare you for it. If you've never seen this and you intend to watch it fully uncut, you really need to brace yourself. Not much of a storyline, really. Yeah. Group of Americans lost to the jungle of Amazonia experience brutal retribution at the hands of blood-crazed cannibals. Shot on location in the savage Amazon wilds of South America, Cannibal Ferox is one of the most violent and shocking films ever made. There are at least 24 scenes of barbaric torture and sadistic cruelty graphically shown. If the presentation of disgusting and repulsive subject matter upsets you, please do not view this film. Yeah. This is a very nice set. This is the US Blu-ray set, released by Grindhouse Releasing. And if you're thinking of getting this, I'm pretty sure you can still get it with this lovely slipcover. And the title is embossed, as is the warning at the bottom. No, it's not the warning, sorry, that's in. It's the woman around it that's embossed. But yeah, it's not an easy watch, like I said. I'll have to cover that up because that's brutal. It does include the soundtrack on CD, which is definitely one of my favourite Video Nasty soundtracks. I've had this on in the car quite a few times. It's quite funky and disco-y, but there's just some really nice music on it as well. I'm safe to show the back. That scene, as you can see, is she's hung up by something. There's the hooks there. Oh, nearly. It's makes you cringe. Is there any artwork on the disc? Yeah, bit of go. I won't say what that is. And the actual... Oh, dearie me, that's a bit of nudity there. That's the front cover. I swear they haven't... Good Lord. There's the back. I can't show you them two. And you get 2 Blu-rays. And yes, I can't lift that disc. That one's alright. But I can't lift and show you the behind. But this is such a lovely set. I'm saying lovely. Yeah, it does have artwork on the back, but it's not like reversible art to turn round. It's like more information images, which has got a lot of nudity on, which I can't cover up with only 2 hands. So, yeah, I'll leave that one. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cannibal Ferox is still available uncut. You can get it in the UK, but bear in mind, if you get the UK one, it is heavily cut. The gore scenes, like I said, are excellent. It's the animal cruelty. But if you can stomach that pig scene, you can stomach the rest. I do like this one. This is probably one of the better, if not the best, cannibal film, to be honest. It sounds awful, but it is one of the easiest to watch. But that doesn't mean to say it is easy. I think because I've seen so many now, I wouldn't say toughened, but I can watch them a little bit easier, but they still get me every time. So number 11, that is Umberto Lenzi's Cannibal Ferox. Number 12 on the section 1 list is another cannibal film. And this, to me, this is the granddaddy of all the cannibal films. This is one of the very first ones to get banned. The front cover art to the original video Nasties is completely different to this. But that cover art was originally what brought the attention to it. And then when they watched it, they must have been absolutely horrified. This is really nasty. This is Ruggero Deodato's Cannibal Holocaust. If you haven't seen this, wow. Yeah, that happens in it. Maybe I shouldn't have shown that, but there you go. It's too late now. The back art's there. At least there is bits hidden. And it does say there, the most controversial film ever made. Yeah, I'll go with that. Storyline in this one's a bit different. There's a group of people going to go into the Amazon because there is people who went before them to make a documentary and they didn't return. So they're going to go looking for these missing people. And on their travels, they do encounter the cannibal tribe. Some awful things happen, really awful things, particularly the animal deaths. I'll explain them in a minute. And they eventually find the reels of film footage. So they take the film reels and go back to America and watch it in like a little mini cinema. And all is revealed what happened to them. You've got to appreciate the fact as well that although they go missing, all until you watch the found footage, all is not what it seems. There's some nasty stuff goes on. Yeah. This is probably the best version to get. This is a Blu-ray. Again, this one's released by Grindhouse Releasing. Now this one, this gives you the opportunity to watch it fully uncut, or you can watch it completely animal cruelty free. When you put the disc in, you get the play, you press play, and it comes up asking you which version you want to watch. For me personally, you're better off getting it out of the way. If you're going to watch it uncut, don't watch the animal cruelty-free one first. Get it out of the way. Then if you want to enjoy the film more, watch the animal cruelty-free one thereafter. I watched the animal cruelty-free one for the first time. I can't remember if it was earlier this year or late last year. And I tell you what, it's a lot easier to watch. A lot easier. You still got all the gore effects, like all the human parts, but all the animal stuff's gone. But some of the human bits as well, they look realistic. It is nasty stuff. I think even without the animal deaths, it still would have been banned because it's really graphic. And when you think this was filmed in sort of 1979, came out in 1980, wow. Way, way, way ahead of its time, this. This is a nice set as well. Again, like Cannibal Ferox, you do get the soundtrack on CD. I've hid that one because that's more graphic than like the main front, which is being covered up a bit. And you get your track list in there. I'm pretty sure there's artwork on the disc. Oh, yeah. It's a bloody reel of film. And the Blu-ray discs, I think, are the same. They're reels to make it look like the found footage, which I think was rather clever. Yeah. There was also thinking to buy a Cannibal Holocaust t-shirt, which I regret not getting now because it's probably long gone. You get the feature on that disc, and on the other disc, I think it's all extra features. There is reversible artwork, and I think it's pretty much the same as the front, but yes, it is. So if I just show you the front, because I'm not turning it round again. Looks the same as this, except the woman's got a dress on, whereas on there she's nude, which is why I've got my finger there. That's what she said. And apart from that, yeah, there's the Cannibal Holocaust logo at the bottom. You also get, I think it's a booklet. Yeah, get a booklet as well. I can't remember what images are in this, how bad it is. I know that I don't think there's any animal bits in this. To see the animal things, I think you physically do have to watch the film. But there's quite a bit of nudity in this. Yeah, and when you get to the middle, it's like a three-way fold-out mini poster of that front artwork where she's on the pole. So I can't show you that one because she's totally nude and it shows you everything. But that is probably one of the greatest effects in a horror film now, because it fooled everybody. Yeah, I think that was part of the reason why they had to go to court and prove they were still alive. Because Diodato was going to get done for murder. Because they thought the people who starred in the film had been killed for real. Because it is pretty realistic, I must admit. However, like I've said, I can't tell you how bad the animal cruelty is in this. It really is bad. So like I said, I'll go through it quickly, the animal deaths. The first one you see, I can't remember the name of the animal. Everybody used to call it a muskrat, but apparently it's not. It's, can't remember it. It's kind of like a little thing that looks a little bit like a meerkat, but I can't remember the name of it. And you see it gets a knife inserted into it. He's got hold of it, and he goes to start eating meat. Down the stomach, and you see this poor little thing bleed to death. It screams, and you see its head turn away like that, and you see the life just leave it. And that's not the worst. Some people think that's the worst one. The worst one is this huge water turtle. It's massive. It must be years and years and years old. And they kill it on the film. Thankfully, the first thing they do is off with the head, so it doesn't feel the rest of it. Because then they just like cut all around it and rip the shell off, and all you see is all its innards and all this blubber. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. The actress who's in the film turns around and throws up one of the actors picks the head up and he goes towards the camera with the head like going, ma, 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 like so it's a joke, but I suppose he was told to do it. Totally unnecessary. Fair enough if they have to kill, like, because I know the tribes kill these things and eat them, but they didn't have to film it, was the point. Because they said, oh, every animal that got killed, we give them to for food. Wonderful. Lovely. No need to put it in the film. Absolutely no need. Ruggiero Deodato, who's no longer with us, has expressed on more than one occasion that he does regret the animal cruelty. But he did do it in more than one film. He did 2 or 3 cannibal films, all of which have it in, so make from that what you will. It still would have been horrific to watch without them. Those 2 are the worst. You do see a pig get killed, but it's shot. So it's kind of quick. And not as drawn out as the one in Cannibal Ferox. Another one's a tarantula, which I applaud. Another one is the little monkeys the size of I think they're called a marmoset there, and they look like that type of thing. These little monkeys. And it pints of delicacy off with the top of the head, suck the brain straight out, and it shows you. But I can honestly say, in my opinion, and it does seem to be the majority of people who I've spoken to who've seen the film all the way through all say the same. The turtle's the worst thing. If you can stomach that, it makes the rest of it look pretty plain sailing. That being said, it is a really good film. It's not one you can watch over and over. I have seen it a few times. I couldn't watch it like once a month or 2 or 3 times a year, not that much. I will watch it again. Like I said, the last time I watched it, animal free. So whether I watch the uncut one or the animal free one again, I don't know. It depends how I feel at the time. I don't feel ready for a watch of it yet. But you must see this film, I think. If you're a horror fan and if you like the video Nasties, you've got to see it. This, for me, is the best version, I guess. I know they've just released it on 4K over here. Waste of time for me. It's not uncut. Don't care if it's only a second or 2 seconds. There's no need for me to upgrade it on 4K because this looks fantastic. It's not the kind of film you're going to watch over and over. So to me, buying this on 4K is pretty pointless. Unless I've seen it for maybe 2 or 3 quid or a £5, then yeah, I'll get it. But it's got to have the slip as well. That's how bothered I am about the 4K. This is more than enough. It's starting to get more stuff as well. Because if you get that, you need to get all the other ones if they come out on 4K as well. This being like the biggest offender. This is probably the hardest film to watch on the entire Video Nasties list that I've seen so far. That's out of every section 1, 2 and 3. So once you've conquered this one, you can relax a bit. But I can't stress to you enough how brutal this one is. Tread with extreme caution. Ruggiero Deodato's Cannibal Holocaust. Number 13 on the Section 1 list. This is one of the ones that's got pretty much one of the most misleading titles. Because this is actually a really good film. This one's directed by somebody who I've never heard of before, Eloy Deja Iglesia. Oh, yeah, I've got all this stuff. This is The Cannibal Man. This is not your regular cannibal film. Again, unfortunately, this does have a bit of animal cruelty in. However, it's only 1 bit. And if you watch the original cut, it's right at the start. So you see it, it's done, it's out the way. And once you've conquered Cannibal Holocaust, this is nothing. It is horrendous, don't get me wrong. It's animal death. Of course, it's awful. But it's just... it's quick, it's humane, it's done out the way. It's the slaughter of a cow, and it's in a slaughterhouse. And it doesn't dwell on it. I think one of the worst bits about it is, my God, the amount of blood. There's a lot. Comes out of a cow, obviously. But like I said, they don't dwell on it. You're not sitting there, poor, for days thinking that was awful, that was like you do Cannibal Holocaust. Once that's out the way, you can relax and enjoy the rest of the film. There is one scene in it which I think explains why it's called The Cannibal Man, but I missed it at first. I had to say, like, where the hell do they get cannibal from? It's basically somebody tries to get his girlfriend, I think it is, and he obviously protects her, so he turns around, he has a fight with this bloke, and he accidentally kills him. So they try and cover it up. And then somebody freaks out or discovers, so then he finds himself that he has to kill that person to stop them blabbing about the original death. And then somebody finds out about that one, so he has to do it. He's doing it not because he doesn't want to kill anybody. He's doing it to hide the previous death, and the poor bugger just keeps getting caught out. I think why it's called, do I tell you, or do you just watch it for yourself? I was going to explain why they call it Cannibal Man. It's got something to do with food that's served up once, and that's it. And to be honest, does he actually know anything about it? I don't know. It's a weird title, but it's such a good film. The back of the slipcover is really good as well. This is a Severin release from the US with this lovely slipcover as well, embossed there. That either is, or it's very, very similar to the original Video Nasty artwork. I think you get that and a couple of other images on it, though. Oops, a daisy there. He might be being a cannibal there, but he's eating the wrong thing. Filthy beast. Especially the bottom one there. Nudity. Yeah. Like I said, there's one animal death. After that, yeah, that's all the horrible stuff out of the way. And it's a contained slaughterhouse thing. But it's not nice to watch, I'm not going to lie to you. There's the disc. I don't think this has had a UK re-release yet. If it does, there's no reason why this can't come out uncut, because even though Cannibal Holocaust is cut, the beginning of this is nowhere near as bad as anything in Cannibal Holocaust. So I think if this gets released uncut, it'll just get a warning about the beginning bit. There is another cut of the film, which I haven't watched yet, but I have spoken to John about this. I'll leave a link below for Mondo Chelloveck's channel, John. And he was telling me that it kind of has it makes a different outlook to the film. And I've seen some of the stuff where he means, and it does, involving him and another bloke in the film. There's something about those two that happens in the other cut that doesn't happen in the original cut. And also that slaughter scene, it's not right at the beginning. It's somewhere in the middle. So I think if you're going to watch both, you're better off watching the cinema one first, the original release first, to get that animal death out the scene. I mean, there is some people who it doesn't really affect that much, but for me personally, and for a lot of people, it's the animal cruelty scenes in these films that it's the most disturbing part. Not easy to watch. Get the first couple of minutes out of the way. It's not even 5 minutes. It's not that long, honestly. It's a minute or two. Not even that, even. But once you've got it out of the way, you've got like a really, really good, enjoyable film here. So that I would recommend that one. There's one thing I have forgot to do. Cannibal Ferox, I would give that a 6 out of 10. Cannibal Holocaust, because it knocks me. It's as good a film, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because it's so nasty. I'd give this a 6 out of 10 as well. This is just an enjoyable film. Yeah, let me pronounce this again. L.D. de la Iglesias, The Cannibal Man. Number 14. This is the second film by Jess Franco that's on the Video Nasties list. The first one that we've seen was Bloody Moon. This is nowhere near as good as Bloody Moon. Yeah, I'm going to have to hide the front. This is The Devil Hunter. I've only recently got this. This is the 88 films ones, fully uncut with the slip. It's the slip that's the hard thing to get hold of now. My original one of The Devil Hunter I had on a Severin disc, which had Cannibal Terror on with it. But because I've got this and Cannibal Terror on 88 with the slips now, I'm parting company with my Severin one. I don't see the point of having them twice. So, yeah, my friend Sammy G, sticking and a minging in that area. I'm going to let him have it because he's starting to get into the video nasties a bit. I watched this when I got this last week, and for the first time ever, I actually quite enjoyed it. I've absolutely slated this since I first watched it, and I think the problem being is, I've said it many times, when I start getting bored, I pick my phone up, lose interest. But I stuck with it. My God, it's garbage, but in a good way. You watch it. This again. This is another one of those. I tell you what, let's get the beer and get some of the lads around and get this on. You just laugh your way through it. The acting is atrocious. The gore is pathetic. It looks like red paint. And this guy here looks nothing like that. The main fella, this like voodoo-y type of person, his eyes, I mean, they look normal there. I shit you not. It's a golf ball cut in half with some red veins painted on, and they're stuck on his eyes with brown plasticine to blend in with his skin. It's got to be seen to be believed. For all you ladies out there, you do see his bits. There's a lot of nudity in this. You barely see hair clothed, I'll be honest. So yeah, definitely one for the lads with a beer, this is. I think she was an actress. She's a famous actress in it. She's gone over to America, I think it is, to promote something. I can't remember. And she gets kidnapped. And they take her out into the jungle or whatever it is. And they've got a ransom on her. So they message these people where she's come from, thinking she's loaded, and they want such and such dollars if you want her back alive. Unfortunately, where they take her is where these cannibals are. It's not cannibals, how you would think. It's more like a voodoo-y type of thing, but there is a bit of cannibalism in it. But it looks like somebody's chewing a bandage full of red. Trust me, this is not one to turn your stomach. This is funny. It's very slow. Stay with it. If you hate it, don't blame me, because I've hated it for years. But if you're a completist, you're going to have to get this. Thankfully, it's fully uncut. All nudity, all gore's intact. Yeah. Well worth a watch. Even if you just watch it the once. On the video nasty artwork, this is the original artwork, but on here, this nude woman, I'm sure just like to get their bits out, so I'm going to put my hand over it, Titty Palalas. But that is the image. It's on the original video nasty art, but she's not. And it does say The Devil Hunter. And can I show you the back? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out of 6 of the photographs, 5 of them have got full nudity on, so I can't show you them. There he is with his golf ball eyes. But it's that small you can't see. I swear you've got to see this to believe it. I think somebody had said to Jess Franco, like, do you want to do a cannibal film? He didn't want to, and they went, well, do one while you wait for so-and-so. He's like, all right, then let's do a cannibal film, and this is what he came up with. Jesus. But now I've watched this, and it's been giving it my full, undivided attention. I will watch this again. And I think the next time I watch this, I will be getting a few beers in myself. So that's, yeah. Don't hate me for this one. Jess Franco's The Devil Hunter. I forgot to mention as well with the Devil Hunter, that's the other one where if you want the original VHS, it costs an absolute fortune. It's really rare. Really rare. I think you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of pounds for it now. Stick with DVDs and Blu-rays. At least you're going to get the films you get to watch. And they're in a lot better picture quality as well now. So, yeah, I've lost what I'm up to now saying that. So we are up to number 15. This is a good old American slasher film. Don't Go in the Woods. That is just a tagline. It is not part of the film title. It's just Don't Go in the Woods. This is a UK release on 88 Films. You can get a really nice Vinegar Syndrome release. And the best part about it is the slipcover. The slipcover is beautiful, but it's not a brilliant film. The acting in this is really atrocious. The first time I watched this, I was like, ugh. Second time I watched it, I really enjoyed it. It's just a good slasher film. They go in the woods. There's this thing killing them off. It's like, it's not exactly a Bigfoot, but it's like this massive bloke, like a big caveman, like something out the Hills of Eyes. But the acting in this is really bad. One of the original UK video nasties, Don't Go in the Woods, doubtlessly attracted the attention of Anti-Horror Brigade due to its misanthropic madness and non-stop splatter action. Well, that's a bit of a lie, isn't it? No. A must-see slasher shocker. This Utah lens limb-lopping bout of slice and dice lunacy. Who wrote this crap? Also packs in plenty of comedic carnage in a natural park setting that provides a touch of creepy claustrophobia. Once banned, but now available in all its uncut outrageousness. So it is uncut. Yeah. There's not much more I can say. It's a slasher in the woods. Really bad acting. But my God. A fun time is had by all. Is there reversible artwork? Yes, but yeah, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as that, except you get a dirty great big red 18 in the corner there. That explains why I turned it over. I hate these 18 things. They get on my nerves. Yeah, nice disc on that one. If I had the choice, I'd rather have the Vinegar Syndrome one. But because it's not the most amazing film, I think I'll stick with this. If I can get it cheap, I'll get it. But I can't see that happening. I don't know how it gets sold. The soundtrack to this was released on vinyl, and it was ridiculous. It was limited to something like, I think it was 100. I did try and get it, but nah, to no avail. I missed it, unfortunately. Nice, but I'm not that bothered, really. I'd like it, but I'm not going to lose sleep. Yeah, I would give that I don't know, a 5 out of 10. Devil Hunter, I used to give it a 2 or a 3. I'd give Devil Hunter, yeah, 4.5 maybe. This is better than Devil Hunter for me personally. But they're pretty much like acting wise and all that. They're on a par really. Don't Go in the Woods. Number 16. Now the first time I saw this knocked me sick. The artwork. Like I said to you, if you've watched my Iron Maiden stuff, when I first got the Killers album, because there was the blood dripping off the axe, painted my head, not a photo. It's Eddie. That knocked me sick when I was 13. So God, anything used to turn my stomach. This made me ill. This, along with Cannibal Holocaust and Death Trap, I believe, were the 3 main ones that started it. And this is the actual band video nasty art and poster that I saw. How times have changed. This is now the front sleeve. This is the steelbook to Abel Ferrara's Driller Killer. Look at that. I love that image now, but when I first seen it, it knocked me sick. The blood runs in rivers and the drill keeps tearing through flesh and bone. I'm going to take this out because I can't remember what's on the other side of that steelbook. But this is so much nicer than the regular artwork that you get. Oh, that's nice. It's less gory, but there you go. Get that down the side there. Blu-ray and DVD versions of the film. And I think that's a booklet. I thought that was a poster at first. Yeah, it says there, this film should be played loud. Please don't listen to that. Because I think it said that to give you the effect that he's having through the film. And there's this punk band in it playing like music all the way through, and they are horrendous. They are utter shit. So don't turn your telly up unless listen to the talky bits. And there's the guy getting it with the drill bit again. That is the goriest scene in the film and the most realistic. It looks fantastic. It really does look real. I think she's one of the punks as well. Surprisingly, this is actually a pretty good film. He's an artist, the main character, and he's actually played by Abel Ferrara, the director. But I think he goes by another name. I think it's Jimmy Lane or something like that. He doesn't go as Abel Ferrara, but it is him. And he's stuck for money, and he's trying to sell his paintings and stuff. And it's getting to the stage where like nobody wants to buy his art anymore. And the bloke who used to buy his art regular saying it's not good enough and stuff. And he slowly starts to mentally deteriorate. And he just flips his lid and goes around doing things like that. It was filmed in New York. It was filmed on the streets of New York. You do see some realistic bits in it, like somebody must have gone around with the camera. Don't know whether Abel Ferrara did it himself or whether part of the crew did it. But you see a lot of homeless people. At the time, I suppose, we all referred to them as tramps. Drinking booze. And there's one guy, he's on these stairs and he's asleep. He's quite old as well. And he's got like a jacket on and trousers, but you can see he's homeless. He's absolutely pitted. And he just starts doing that in his sleep. And the sick comes out. He's vomiting in his sleep. And he doesn't even wake up. And it's just like drooling out. But you can see his body convulsing. Now, when I first saw that knocked me sick. That was the worst scene in the film. It doesn't last long. It's just a thing that you see. I look at it down and go, oh, you mucky old bastard. It doesn't bother me, though. But yeah, the gore effects in this, when you consider it was like 1979, was it? Yeah, 1979. The gore effects in it and his rapid spiral out of control, but this scene in particular, it's excellent. It looks really good. It's very grimy. It's very dirty. It's 70s New York. It's very much like how you see when they go down. Was it 42nd Street? I think with all the seedy cinemas, it's like kind of that setting. It's very gritty, grimy, and dirty type of thing, but I think that adds to it. It's quite underrated. It was just banned for the gore, and to be honest, I think if you are a horror fan and you like gore, I think you're going to enjoy this one. But my God, I'm warning you, the punk band in this are absolutely atrocious. Abel Ferrara is actually really good in it. Oh, Jimmy Lane, I think he calls himself. I keep looking, can't find it. I'm sure it's It's something like that. It's either Jimmy Lane or something like that. I think it's Jimmy Lane. But yeah, definitely worth watching this one. And you can still get this on Arrow. Not the Steelbook, but you get the normal one. You can normally get it like really cheap as well. I would give this a 5.5 out of 10. That is Abel Ferrara's The Driller Killer. Number 7. This is one of those that I can't quite remember why this ended up on the list. Because as far as video nasties are concerned, this was actually quite a high budget one. This one stars Clint Howard, who is Ron Howard's brother. It was Richard Cunningham in Happy Days and the director. He did The Grinch, and I think he did Apollo there. He's in loads of stuff. And this one is Evil Speak, with this gorgeous slipcover. There's that nice waxy feel to it again. 8 films. I don't know if the film's out of print, but the slip is. And it is uncut. I never saw this one back in the day. But when I watched it, I was like, do you know what? What a cracking little film that was. He's basically, he goes to school, he's bullied to hell. And he's a bit of a computer wizard, a bit of a geek. And he taps into this sort of evil presence thing with the computer. And he gets it to come sort of into the world and type of thing. And he kind of uses it to start and get his own back. It does have a little bit at the beginning, I think, before it gets into the Clint Howard character. It's got something to do with the witchy part of things. I can't remember. I haven't seen this for a long time. But this is a really good film. I think I've reversed this round because, yeah, that's the original video nasty artwork. So if you're of my age and you're thinking, I don't remember the look of that, you might look at that and think, oh my God, I remember that now, yeah. Because I do remember seeing that in the video shops. I just didn't get to see it at the time. It was one of the ones that when I used to go to school, everybody was like, have you seen Evil Speak? I was like, you're joking, aren't you? Me watch a horror? Are you insane? The disc art ain't great. And the reversible artwork's just exactly the same as that slip. But even though I haven't seen it, that's always the artwork I remembered in the video shops. For me personally, this shouldn't even be on the list, let alone a section 1. It's far worse than this. This is what I'm saying. It was just these bloody idiotic Tories. They were just picking anything up, thinking they were just being clever. They knew everything. We're doing this to protect your children. Well, you're clearly not, you idiots. Graham Bright, or Graham Shite, as it should have been called, were an absolute idiot. But this is actually, it's not a high budget film, but compared to most of them, it is. It's like proper studio stuff. And like I said, it's got Clint Howard in it. R.C. Armstrong, that's the name, sounds familiar. Claude Earl Jones, so does that. Haywood Nelson, Don Stark, Charles Tyner, and Lauren Lester. Who directed it? Eric Weston. It says on the back here. Veteran actor R.G. Armstrong, who's Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Clint Howard is in The Wraith. Oh, I love that film. And Carnosaur, which I've never heard of. He's also in that Ice Cream Man thing. But there is somebody else as well. There's a couple of faces I did recognise. But yeah, I would give this one a 6 out of 10. I would definitely recommend this one if you've never seen it. This is a really enjoyable film. Evil Speak. Number 8 on the section 1 list. I hadn't seen this one. This one, I think if I'd have seen the original cover in the video shop, I wouldn't have even picked it up. I'd have just passed it by. This has got a hell of a cast as well, but I thought this was a great film. The absolutely stunning Linda Hayden is in this one. who's in a couple of the Hammer films. She's in Taste the Blood of Dracula. She's the daughter of one of the main men who go to try and find Dracula's thing. It's also got Udo Kier who's in Flesh of Frankenstein and Blood of Dracula, and I think he's in Rob Zombie. What is it? Rob Zombie's Halloween. He's in. He's one of those actors you might not know his name, but you'd know him if you've seen him. And Fiona Richmond, who was a nudie model and actress, I think. On the Video Nasties list, this was called Expose. I don't know why. In the States, it was called House on Straw Hill. Udo is a writer in it, if I remember rightly. And his missus is, what do you call her? I've just said her name, Fiona Richmond. And she's going away somewhere. So he hires this woman to sort of like come and look after the house and clean up and stuff and cook his meals and that while he's doing some writing while she's gone. And when she turns up, it's Linda Hayden. And he does start to get a bit of a thing for her. But I'm not going to go into it much. You need to watch this. This kind of reminds me a lot. It's a totally different storyline, but I would class this would make a very good double bill with, as well as the original Straw Dogs with Dustin Hoffman and Susan George. It's kind of that type of film. I love this. I've only watched it once and I had an absolute blast with it. I'll see what it says on the back, see if it agrees with what I've said. It remains one of the most notorious thrillers in UK cinema history. A film so graphically depraved it was banned by British censors for nearly 25 years. Euro cult legend Udo Kier, Andy Warhol's Dracula, and he's in Suspiria as well. Stars in the twisted story of a disturbed novelist, his posh girlfriend, UK softcore goddess Fiona Richmond, a secluded house in the England countryside, and the horny nymphette, luscious Linda Hayden of Blood on Satan's Claw fame, who triggers a nightmare of deviant desires, sexual violence, brutal murder, and bloody revenge. Also known as Expose, and also known as Trauma. That was another name for it. This still controversial shocker has been fully restored from a private collector's original print. Wow, I didn't realise that. Including all of Linda Hayden's infamous scenes of self-gratification. To now deliver on the promise of the original British ads that nothing but nothing is left to the imagination. It's totally uncut and uncensored for the first time ever. What a film. I love this. It's so well acted. It's got famous people in it. Should it have been on the Nasties list? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I kinda get it. It's not so much for the gore, it's for the nasty way that things are done and stuff, and like the maliciousness behind it. And there is, if I remember rightly, I think there is a, you know the word I mean, that we don't like to say, the violence against women word, the sexualised violence. I think there's a bit of that in it as well, if I remember rightly. But I highly recommend this. I still don't think you can get this in the UK. You have to get this on a US import. And it's the mighty Severin who've released this one. Mine turned up with the cover damaged. Bugger. And there you go. And it did damage the inner artwork a little bit. However, I wasn't sending it back because I got it fairly cheap. And I thought, do you know what? I can't be bothered. It's come from America. It's because of the crap pattern, but there you go. Well worth a watch. Is that a 1 disc? No, hey, whoa, it's 3 discs. So you get the film on DVD, you get the film on Blu-ray, and then you get an extra DVD, Ban the Sadist Videos documentary, which I think the guy who owns Severin Films, who is actually English, and he went over the States to start this company, because he just got sick of the video Nasties not coming out, so that's exactly what he went over there for. He made that documentary, and it is absolutely amazing. If you get this, it's worth getting as well for that documentary, because that documentary goes fantastically hand in hand with those video nasty documentaries I showed you in part 1. Well worth getting. So if you get this, you get the 3-disc one. We'd say 2 really, because it's only a Blu-ray of the film. You get the film on DVD, which is a brilliant film, and then you also get that extra disc with that amazing documentary on. So that is, for me, a 7 out of 10. And that's The House on Straw Hill, which over here was called Expose. Number 19 on the Video Nasties list, section 1. This is one of the granddaddies. It's way up there with Cannibal Holocaust. And this, after I'd seen Cannibal Holocaust, this was my next one that I was absolutely dreading watching. It took me a long time to find this, and then when I got it, it was out of stock, and I got it late. I didn't think I was going to get it. John's only just got this one, and I don't know how the hell he's got it or where he's got it from, because you can't find this normally for love nor money. I nearly lost out on it, but there you go. He's got it. I'm glad he's got it. I'm just shocked he's got it, but I'm so over the moon that he's got it. I watched this. It's kind of like a documentary. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? Absolutely. Faces of Death. It's basically a documentary with a load of stuff sort of shot together, clips, and it brags about a lot of it being real. It's not. Most of it is bogus. The most famous scene being where they're in the restaurant and they batter this monkey's head and scoop the brains out. It's false. It's not real. So you can watch it, calm down. It does have animal cruelty in it, but it's slaughterhouse material, and to be honest, it's not bad because it's quite dark. It's not as long as the Cannibal Holocaust stuff. It's kind of similar to what you see in The Cannibal Man, a little bit longer, but because it's so toned down dark, you don't see it as clear. I think the bit where it shows you a man jumping out of an aeroplane and his parachute doesn't jump and he bounces on the floor, I think that's real. But there's a bit where it shows you a guy on fire and they're trying to tell you it's real. Give me a break. The people around watching, It began as a graphic exploration of one destiny we cannot escape. It would soon become the most morally controversial, critically reviled, and financially successful documentary of the VHS era. Parents groups tried to stop it, video stores had to hide it, yet across the nation millions found ways to secretly watch it, if they dared. Renowned pathologist Dr. Francis B. Gross, who is an actor, is your guide to the most bizarre and grisly death scenes ever recorded, from executions, assassinations, and mass murder, suicide, disease, and disasters. 3 decades later, is it hardcore, gross-out, elaborate hoax, or still the ultimate forbidden movie? You may scream in shock, weep with anguish, or flee in horror, but you will never forget the original Faces of Death. This, I think when the original film came out, the original video, I'm sure it only went on for about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and a quarter. This is restored. This goes on for 1 hour 45, 105 minutes. So this is uncut. On the Video Nasty artwork, it showed you a bloke in an electric chair. And you see a clip of that in the trailer. From what I've been told, though, that wasn't actually in the film. It was cut out. But it's in this. There's also a bit where you see a body get washed up on the beach, and I think that body actually is real. But it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was a lot easier to watch than what I thought. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy. You can't say it's an easy watch, for God's sake, with a film like this. but it's nowhere near as bad as I expected, which was a good thing. I thought, after it finished, I thought, would I watch it again? Yeah. If you've ever seen the film The Killing of America, which is a really horrific documentary, but it's so interesting. It's kind of on a par with that, but not as good, because like The Killing of America is absolutely brutal, but it's excellent. It's about as a level on it with like how it would affect your stomach, anything wise type of thing. You do see dead bodies and stuff, but you see stuff like that on the news. I think there's some news footage in it as well. There you go, there's the disc, and it says on the disc they're banned in 43 countries. It's still being refused, I think, over here. I don't think you still get it. I don't want to see any of the sequels. There's Faces of Death 2, 3 and 4 at least. And they're supposed to be really bad, like worse than this. This is the only one on the Nasties list. This is the only one I need to see. This is the only one I want. Watch with caution, but it's not as bad as you may think. It's nowhere near as bad as Cannibal Holocaust for me, personally. So that's Faces of Death. And the final one in this part of the Section 1 list, this is number 20. Again, this is probably my second favourite one in the Section 1 list after The Burning. This film is absolutely fantastic. There's nothing cannibal-y or anything like that about it. It's more a really violent drama. It's directed by Robert A. Endelson, and this has actually got some famous people in it as well. But this is not an easy watch, but my God, what a film. This is fight for your life. This, to this day, still hasn't been reissued or given a certificate in this country. This is released by Blue Underground. It's basically the story of this this black guy's I think he's like a priest or something. The very religious family, and they're all so lovely. The grandma, she's gorgeous. I love it a bit. And there's a little boy, his son, his youngest son. He's amazing. You love him, and he's friends with this little white lad. And they're so canny together. They'll cut their hands put together and say like, now we're blood brothers, that type of thing. Proper canny little lads. And this fella here, who's famous, William Sanderson. The black guy is actually Robert Judd, who I think, if I remember rightly, is he the one in... he's either in Crossroads as the devil fella, I can't remember. He's in quite a few things, I know. Well, his family... well, he escapes prison and stumbles upon his family, and my God, him and his arsehole mates are absolutely vile to this poor family. There's a lot of racist language in this, which I think is why, and rightly so, it got pulled up. But there's also elements of... I'm doing that on my eyes, sorry, because it feels like what's something in my eye. And there's elements of like sort of torture and stuff. It's like it's kind of like in the same vein, obviously for different reasons. But it's like grimy and gritty, like the original Death Wish. But for a DVD, this actually looks great. I won't tell you how it ends because it does have you on the edge of your seat. It's a brilliant watch. It really is. It's not a racist film, but the characters are racist, and he plays a fantastic part. You hate him, so he's done his job. You are rooting for his family and him all the way through. You really are. And there's a part in it, wow. It's to do with the kids. his son and his friend. It's something to do with them. And when that happened, I was like, you are joking. No, wow. Did not see that coming. It's brutal. It really is brutal. A lot of racist, awful racist comments, slurs, insults thrown out. But I think it had to be like that to get the effect desired in the film. I think if the horrible racist comments weren't in it, you wouldn't have hated him as much. It had to be done. And obviously, these guys knew what they were getting into. They've obviously read the script and they've agreed to it. It's just a brilliant film. It really is. I've watched this 2 or 3 times and it's just fantastic. Even Mrs. RG loves this. She really enjoyed it. I would give this probably a 9 out of 10. So enjoyable. Not an easy watch because of the content, but my God, just keep watching. Just keep watching. You will be rewarded. That's all I'm saying. Blue Underground released this one. I did email Blue Underground in the States and I said to them, is there any chance you're going to be doing an upgrade of this? I said, I bought the DVD and I absolutely love it, but I would love it on Blu-ray. Do you have any plans to? And they replied back basically saying, we'd love to. However, all the elements were destroyed in I think it was a hurricane or something, or a fire or something like that. So unfortunately, this is the best you're ever going to get it. I would get this while you still can before it disappears, because I don't know how long it's going to be in print. You don't know if they're going to lose the license. You don't know if they're just going to put it out of print and not release it anymore. There's the disc, the picture disc of it. I was surprised at how good this film was, because when I got this, I was thinking, I bet it's going to be crap, this. No, it's not. If you like Death Wish and stuff like that, you should lap this up. But you can't call this a racist film because it isn't. You'll understand why. It's the characters that are racist, but that's what they're meant to be, and they need to be to get the desired effect. So if racial slurs like really do bother you, just watch with extreme caution. But do realise that it's not the film being racist, it's the character in the film. And keep watching it, because that's all I'm saying, just keep watching. Just bear with it. So yeah, I think that's probably my second favourite on the Section 1 list. Fantastic. Fight for your life. So there you go. That's the next 10 for Section 1. So that's the end of part 2. Some crackers in there. Feel free to ask me anything you want to know. I'll answer you best I can in the comments. If you want to know anything, where did I get them from, how to get all of them, give us a shout. I'll try my best to help you out. The one I'm probably going to be struggling with to help you out, but I will try, is Faces of Death. I can't remember the name of it there. But yeah, that chunk of 10 there, that was a pretty good chunk there. Some of them were like really worth sort of talking about. And some really, really good films in that section as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much indeed for watching, all 2 of you. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying this little plod through the video Nasties. And I hope you're looking forward to doing Section 3, because I'm having a blast doing these. Absolutely loving it. So until the next time I see you, all take care of yourselves, and I shall see you very soon. Ta-ta.